56-year-old Bryce Boots of Pikesville was supposed to be in a Baltimore County courtroom January 10th, but did not show up. Hours later, his body was found in Frederick County.
Suspect, 20-year-old Keon Wilson Hawkins. He's now charged in connection with the murder of 65-year-old Bryce Boots. According to the Sheriff's Department and State's Attorney's Office, video surveillance and cell phone records helped in the investigation. Boots was found inside his 2003 Toyota Sequoia in a field along a Walkersville road. The vehicle had its flashers on and had been in the area for more than 7 hours. The homicide investigation, which closed the road for 2 days, began based on evidence found at the scene. So far, investigators have not offered a cause of death or possible motive for the murder. Deputies say their investigation is not over. In a written statement, the Frederick County Sheriff tells 11 News, this very disturbing murder has been a nonstop priority for our agency since it occurred in early January. This crime is another example of individuals from outside of this county committing violent crimes locally and somehow believing their crimes won't be solved.
Neighbors in Pikesville tell 11 News Boots was well known. He had lived in the area for 27 years. He was extremely proud of being able to buy his house at the age of 23. They say he was a good and helpful neighbor, a hard-working man who was retired.
Yo, what it is, people, we is back, baby. Another day on Keep It G News. And there y'all went in Baltimore to talk about a situation that y'all might never heard before. And I think this situation is very unique, yo, because it's dealing with a former Baltimore police officer that actually tried to run for council. You understand? You typically don't see these people working in that type of field and was living that type of life to years later be involved in something so vicious. But they took the easy way out. And I'm going to explain to y'all how they took the easy way out. And this is the story of Francis Hamilton and Bryce Boots. You understand? This was a married couple. To my knowledge, I think they got married in the year of 2020. This 2024. Marriage might have lasted 3 years because in the last year or so, y'all gonna find out that they was in a custody battle. But I want y'all to listen to the details. And before I get to the details, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. You know, become a member of the channel if you want to. But the details of how this all played out and the reason why I say that Francis Hamilton took the easy route and may have left her peoples on stuck is crazy.
And we've learned new information about the case. It comes from investigators and an indictment. The 4-count grand jury indictment charges 20-year-old Keon Wilson Hawkins with first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, kidnapping, and carjacking. Frederick County Police arrested him Monday at his Baltimore home in connection with the January murder of 66-year-old Bryce Boots of Pikesville. Investigators believe Wilson Hawkins and the victim's ex-wife, Frances Virginia Hamilton, were part of a conspiracy to kill Boots. She, too, is now deceased. Detectives learned Boots and Hamilton had been involved in a contentious divorce and that Boots had expressed fear for his safety.
11 News has learned when Boots did not appear at this courthouse in Catonsville, the judge held a default hearing. The case involved domestic violence and a final protective order. According to the judge's ruling signed that day, Boots was ordered to not abuse, threaten, or harass the alleged victim. He had to surrender all firearms and vacate the house in Pikesville.
Detectives think a fight took place in his home, and Boots was then forcibly abducted. According to the Sheriff's Department and State's Attorney's Office, video surveillance and cell phone records helped in the investigation. Boots was found inside his 2003 Toyota Sequoia in a field along a Walkersville road. The vehicle had its flashers on and had been in the area for more than 7 hours. Boots was supposed to be in a Baltimore County courtroom January 10th for a hearing concerning domestic abuse. As 11 News has reported, he did not show up. Detectives did develop a timeline as part of their investigation. It indicates Hamilton, Hawkins, and Boots were in the home on the evening of January 9th. Shortly after 4:30 in the morning, January 10th, Boots and Wilson Hawkins leave and travel to Frederick County. The men get to Crum Road in Walkersville about 6:20 a.m., and then 10 minutes later, at 6:30 a.m., Wilson Hawkins leaves and travels back to Baltimore. Investigators say attempts to contact Hamilton failed. She was found dead February 24th in Anne Arundel County. Her cause of death is suspected suicide. Investigators also say Wilson Hawkins is believed to be
Now,
her
before I
nephew.
get into the details, y'all, I just wanted y'all to look at these people's lives, man. Frances Hamilton looked like she was living a decent life, She often baked cakes on her spare time.
Baker, I'm also a cook. I make homemade rum cakes, but guys, we don't like for it to be too boring. So, we like to get a little extra.
I'm sorry?
While we're out here cooking.
You said cooking.
Cooking.
Okay.
Yes, cooking.
Rum cakes.
Yes.
Rum cake. So the right one, the left one is rum and the left one is cake.
Right, and the doubling up is a 7-up cake.
That's a 7.
I have all of my little food things. So, guys, yes, I have my little fresh garlic that I'm going to eat. I have all the little sauces, which I don't normally.
And then you got Bryce Booth. Looked like to me he was a guy that, took care of his business, like to enjoy himself, like to party. Typically, you see from people in their 50s nowadays. Most people in their 50s nowadays still party like the young folks. And I don't got no problem with it. But you'd have never thought that just by the looks of these people that they was going through something, whatever they was going through. Because in court documents, they both were sending threats back and forth. Both of these guys said they was in fear for their life of the other person. Even had to forfeit their guns. So, before this final court hearing, I guess they was going to settle everything. That's just me speculating. Frances Hamilton ends up getting her nephew, Keon Hawkins, to kill her husband. Or her divorced husband at this time. But she didn't want to face the consequences of it. So what she decides to do is commit suicide. So now, Keon Hawkins is on an island all by himself. Going to prison for murder all by himself on behalf of his aunt. And his aunt decided that she wanted to get him, 20 years old, to kill her husband, yo. Yo, this is a dirty game. Whenever you're in a domestic situation, yo, I know people like to keep things to themselves, yo, but it's always good to let a third party know. Just in case it ever get this bad and you might got to defend yourself. You always want to have that track record of these incidents. Now, I'm not going to dig too far deep into that because I don't know none of that. I just want to deal with what we know. And from what we know is Frances Hamilton committed suicide. What it looks like because she was ready to get locked up by the Frederick County Police on this murder. And I don't know if she warned Keon Hawkins or not. But at 20 years old, I doubt if he wanted to go that route and kill himself as well. He probably just going to roll the dice. But now he's in prison. And I don't know what made these people decide that Frederick County, for people from Baltimore and Maryland, y'all know, I don't know what made them think Frederick County was the valuable option to do any of this in. He was better off keeping them in Baltimore County and going to the city. If they was going to do that, which they shouldn't have done it because now look what's going on. You got a woman committed suicide. Bryce Booth is dead. Keon Hawkins is going to prison for a very long time. And it was like, for what? It was a custody battle. It looked like to me it was probably some give and take going on. And somebody wanted to take more than they wanted to give, but now nobody gets anything. Everybody loses. I just wanted to highlight this situation, yo, because I think this situation is very ironic and unique, yo, because you don't typically see this from a Baltimore police officer, a former Baltimore police officer. That's what this woman was. End up being the cake lady, baked cakes, like she had a pretty decent following on Facebook. But now all you see is rest in pieces on both these people pages, yo, and it probably could have just been a peaceful separation. That's the thing when you marry people, yo, you marry everything that come along with them, yo, and when it's time to split, gotta split in half. And some people want to be selfish, some people want to be greedy, yo, and a lot of times that greed do lead to this. Well, I don't know how y'all feel about this in the comments, man. At the end of the day, I think that Frances Hamilton crashed her nephew out, and that's just me being honest. Like I said, I don't know the details. I don't know if it might have been to that level where though she felt like she needed to get somebody. But why the nephew? I know if I was her brother or if I was her sister and that was my child, I'll be highly upset with my sister, man. Straight up, yo. And I don't want to make this video all about her, yo, but it ain't really too many other ways to go about this shit, yo. I would be highly upset that you involved my child in something like this and then you took the easy way out. Now my child got to face all the consequences. That's just how I look at it. I could be wrong. But I don't know how y'all feel about this in the comments, man. This is another day of Keep It G News. Make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Nigga can't do what I do, y'all niggas can't copy me. Let's keep shit G. Let's keep shit G. Let's keep the shit G. Let's keep shit G. Let's keep shit G.